My friends, yesterday we lost one of the greatest proponents and defenders of the Second Amendment and the right to keep and bear arms in America, and that is Charlie Kirk. There is only one Charlie Kirk. He cannot be replaced. And his murder yesterday is tragic on countless levels, not least of which is we lost a man who was a husband and a father, a political leader, an inspiration, and a friend to all in America and the conservative movement, including the Second Amendment. My first interaction with Charlie Kirk involved an event he did for the National Rifle Association. I heard about him because he was a lunchtime speaker at a women's leadership conference, and everyone loved him, this young man. And then I did a little bit of research on him, and I was happy to report at the time what a wonderful writer and a brilliant mind he was. He was very young at this point, maybe 10 years ago or so. I even found out he wrote a book specifically on the right to keep and bear arms. This book that Charlie wrote was entitled The Second Amendment and the Hunting Heritage. And I read this book, and as you know, I'm very demanding, and yet I thought this book was just excellent as a defense to the right to keep and bear arms for young people and, frankly, for people of all ages. So I kept my eye on Charlie, and I subsequently, met Charlie, spent some time with him, even spoke at Turning Point events in the past. And his loss is terrible, not just on a personal level, but on a national level. You see, I'm a subscriber to what is known as the great man of history, or the great man theory of history. And what that is the notion that history is primarily shaped by the actions of extraordinary individuals who shape their times, who shape technology, shape the economy, shape the politics, shape the culture, whatever it might be. Charlie Kirk, in my view, was just one such extraordinary man, truly a great man of history. His work over the last 10 plus years in American politics and American culture cannot be replaced. He went to college campuses that had been radicalized to left-wing Marxist ideologies. And he went into the lion's den and he spoke truth to that academic power. He went on these campuses all across America. He spoke to young people and he told them what he considered to be the truth. And it was the truth. He talked about the right to keep and bear arms. He talked about the greatness of the United States. He talked about the importance of capitalism, the importance of pro-life and saving lives and morality. And he was a devout Christian. And he spoke about the importance of the Judeo-Christian worldview, charity, love thy neighbor, rationality, and so much more. He was an unapologetic American and an unapologetic patriot. His loss creates a huge void, not just in the conservative political movement, not just in American culture, but in our country. Millions and millions of people of all ages look to Charlie for guidance, for thoughts, for information. Information when you're young, you don't often get on college campuses. And yet he provided that light, that information that was otherwise not attainable. He was able to blend the rise of social media, television, cable, on-campus speaking events, debates, discussions one-on-one with people all across this great country. And there's very little doubt in my mind that Charlie Kirk and his role in shaping the young minds of Americans on campus and beyond, truly helped Donald Trump be elected in 2016 and again in 2024. Charlie was obviously an attractive man, a smart man, a loving man, a caring father, and a loving husband. But most of all, he was a great American and a great patriot, and truly supported the right to keep and bear arms. A great defender of that right. And in many respects, he's leaving a void in defending the right to keep and bear arms that we're not going to be able to fill, because there's only one Charlie Kirk, and no one can replace him. And that is a terrible thing. But I don't just want to be sad and depressed, although I am, about this terrible murder, this evil event. But I want to focus on some positive, to the extent there is any. It's quite clear whoever attacked and murdered Charlie Kirk has some political reason for doing so, some social reason for doing so. We don't know what that is yet. Only time will tell. But I will say this. In the history of Western civilization, my friends, we had a Winston Churchill. He saved the world. And then we lost to Winston Churchill. We had a Ronald Reagan as president. He saved America. He won the Cold War and saved capitalism and the free market and made America, the United States, that shining city on the hill once again. We lost Ronald Reagan. We had a Rush Limbaugh. We lost Rush Limbaugh. There are other great men in history who we've lost. And yet we here in the United States, we American patriots, we supporters of the First Amendment, we supporters of the Constitution, we supporters of the right to keep and bear arms, we've continued on and fought, and in many instances, thrived. And while I cannot guarantee that's going to be the outcome with whatever happens now that we've lost the great man Charlie Kirk, I will just say one thing as just an observation of the passing scene to give you hope in what is really a dark time, and that is this. If you may recall, the left wing in America had the view that if they took down the National Rifle Association, if they destroyed the NRA, if they hobbled it, if they paralyzed it, with lawfare in New York and the like, they thought they would destroy the Second Amendment movement in America. And they would bring about gun confiscation, gun control, and so on. And the NRA was hobbled for many years. If you could look at it compared to 2016 versus, let's say, a couple years ago. But during that time where the NRA was hobbled, there was a rise of many other voices. YouTube channels, prominent spokespeople came out of the woodwork to fight for our right to keep and bear arms. And I would say today, when it comes to our Second Amendment rights, we are stronger now than any other time in our lifetimes. So even though the left, the progressives, the radical left in America that want to turn us into serfs and subjects and take away our citizenship, they don't want us to be citizens. And even though they were successful in hobbling the NRA for a period of time, it gave rise to thousands of flowers, thousands of voices that spoke truth to power and advanced the right to keep and bear arms. And while I cannot see the future any more than you can, I'm optimistic that the views, the goals, the desires of Charlie Kirk will not be lost on Americans. The patriotic voices will be uplifted and will spread. And although we'll never replace Charlie Kirk, I'm optimistic that somehow, some way, someone or some people will come along and will take the things that he believed in and will continue to push forward and continue to defend and continue to help the United States of America remain the greatest country that's ever existed, that will protect our Bill of Rights, that will protect our right to keep and bear arms, that will protect the right to debate and free society and all that goes along with it. So while this is a terrible tragedy, this murder of Charlie Kirk, and there's nothing good about this, there's nothing happy about this at all. It's a terrible tragedy, no matter how you look at it. But with that said, I am hoping and I'm lighting candles and I'm praying that his effort will not be lost on the future And some way, somehow, someone, some group, some people, something will come along that will ensure that what Charlie Kirk believed in will continue on long after his passing and his murder. So with that said, folks, I am sorry that this happened. It is a terrible tragedy. It is very depressing, and I'm very angry about what happened. But with that said, we must push forward. I know I'm going to push forward and redouble my efforts to fight for America, to fight for freedom, to fight for our rights, and I will not be intimidated, nor should you. We are Americans. We're patriots. We believe in God and that our rights come from God and are not given to us by government. And I believe that everything I just said is something that Charlie Kirk, if he were here, would agree with and would urge you to carry on, to pick up the torch that is on the ground right now and pick up that torch of liberty and freedom and carry it and push forward like all great American patriots have done in the past and will do for generations to come. So our thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk's family, to his friends and his colleagues. God bless Charlie Kirk. God bless his family. God bless his colleagues. And God bless the United States of America.